DDM 2023.03 sees a significant enhancement to the rename capability that previously only supported the renaming of SolidWorks files. The rename tool now supports all of the CAD formats, SolidWorks, SolidEdge, Creo, Inventor and Ironcad. So all 3D formats are supported. On the basis of this, we've changed the name from SolidWorks Rename to CAD Rename Tool. Okay, the example I'm going to give you here, I'm searching for a part, it's a manufactured part, it's mechanical, and I'm looking for a bearing housing. Looking for my standard bearing housings, let's just only look at latest issues. And the part that I'm going to modify is this part 20377. It's currently at issue 62, so it's an extreme example and highly unlikely that you would ever want to rename something with so much history behind it. However, we've done lots and lots of database migrations and CAD data imports from the Windows file system over the last sort of 5 to 10 years, and we've been building on our capabilities. The ability to rename parts after they've been imported into DDM is a specific or a significant requirement from our customers. Unfortunately, managing CAD data in the file system, or in some cases in alternative PLM solutions that allow you to duplicate information, means that you do need to fix things. So it's a great enhancement. I'm going to use SolidWorks as the example, although, as I said, the tool will work with all of the supported systems. So the function is called CAD Rename Manager. I'm going to select this particular part. Apologies, that was a double click. And I'm going to right click and say CAD Rename Manager. We're just going to drop into the DDM administration client. I'm just going to bring over my DDM server here. So inside the DDM server, we've got some groups here, which are our power groups. So what we have here is a rename manager users. So if you have access controls, you only need to be in this group to be able to rename your CAD files. If you want to override access controls and ownership, you can be a member of the super user group, which will allow you to rename things that are released or not owned by you. Clearly, there are implications with that that need to be carefully considered. So I am in the right groups. So let's go back to DDM Office here. I'm going to select this SolidWorks part and choose CAD Rename Manager. Warning, there are multiple issues of this item. Renaming a single issue may cause CAD retrieval problems for other issues. So, not all parents can be modified. So based on the item that I've selected, it has 2 parents. I want to apply this to all issues. So instead of 2 parents needing to be modified, if we modify all 62 versions of this part, we need to update all of these parent assemblies and drawings. Okay. Here we have the ability to override state-based access controls. I still cannot modify all the parents, which is why they are displayed in red. If I also override ownership, I can now rename this. Overriding ownership means that it's likely that these items are reserved by somebody else. So, in order to do a full assessment of what it is you're about to change, we've added some cautionary notes here to make sure that you've done the right impact assessment. Okay, so very powerful, but very dangerous if not carefully considered. I'm going to choose to rename this item. I'm going to choose manual numbering, because all I'm going to do is append -REN on the end of the part number. So I'm going to go from 20377 to 20377-REN. I'm going to apply it to all issues, overwriting or overriding access controls and ownership. Okay, you must enter your password again to make sure that it's the right person carrying out this action. Do consider all of the cautionary notes. If I enter my password, you also have to accept the liability of what it is you're doing. Very important. Okay, I'm going to accept the liability. And while this is running, we can see at the bottom of the window here that it's updating row X of 188 items that need to be updated. So it's going to cycle through all of this information. I'm going to leave it running real time so you can see how long it takes. What happens while the rename is in process is if you have any drawings that have got PDFs against them, it will remove the PDFs because they are potentially incorrect if they've got information about the part that you're renaming on the drawing. So we need to be very careful about this. It's one of the cautionary comments. Okay, 120, nearly there. To do this work manually is a huge amount of time and effort and risk that you might do it wrong. So a super powerful tool and a great addition to this new version of DDM. So we're nearly there. It's updated everything. 188 have been updated correctly. Okay, so if I say OK, just refresh my screen. If I select this item, I can see in the primary attributes it's been renamed. Now if I choose this and let's search on this like so, we want to see all issues, so I'm going to switch the latest issue switch off. I'm now seeing every issue of this part from 1 right up to issue 62, which is the latest released issue. If I was to do a were used, all of the parent relationships have been updated. If I go down to, let's say, issue 59, here we have, again, the parents have been updated. I'm going to start my SolidWorks now, and we're just going to load one of the parent assemblies into SolidWorks to just double check that the rename has happened correctly. And when I load my SolidWorks assembly, it is calling in the right renamed child component. Okay, just starting SolidWorks. And again, just to reiterate, this CAD rename tool is supported for Creo, SolidWorks, SolidEdge, Ironcad, and Inventor. If I do a search and open, I'm going to pick on this parent assembly. I'm going to load the assembly. It sees here that it's trying to load the correct item. It is warning me that it's not the latest issue, which I'm aware of based on when this was released. I'm going to say, yes, I want to load it, even though it's not the latest issue. And if I just do a regenerate here, we can see that within my SolidWorks assembly, or my CAD assembly, we've got the correct subcomponent that has been renamed. Okay, let me just close that out. I'm going to clear my working folder, go back into DDM. So, DDM 2023. Also, in the audit trail, we also keep a record that a rename has been done and what it was renamed from and what it was renamed to. So we've got full traceability on who did what when. A great enhancement in DDM 2023.03 is the previous SolidWorks rename tool has been extended to support all of the supported CAD applications within DDM.